Hey
Nowhere.
y'all.
Hey,
Look at
y'all.
you.
All right. Post Malone can do it, so can you.
And why not? Welcome to another episode of the Real Estate Roadmap Podcast. I didn't know if I was going to get. Jen was waiting to see if I messed that up.
I swear, you can read my face. I have zero poker face.
You were looking at. Okay, so if you guys don't know, I always just start the podcast early. I never remember the name of it. And then, I did the same thing this time. And as I'm saying it, I'm watching. She just glistened with excitement. I'm waiting for me to mess that up.
It's not
I was
that
writing too.
Yeah, it's not that I was like
Huh?
hoping that you failed. I was just really excited to see if you got it.
Oh no, you're curious. You're curious if I was going to pull it off. But we do have.
I'm such a devil on the shoulder. I'm always like, this guy's gonna mess us up.
Speaking of a devil on your shoulder, who's the guy on your shoulder right now in the background?
That is a wonderful gentleman in our office named Barry. He is an agent in our office, and he just loves to look into mine.
What's very interesting is so you have to watch this on YouTube to know what we're talking about. But
Yes.
over Alex's shoulder, he has a window, and in that window, there's just a silhouette of a man.
A
And,
window that looks into the office, not into the outside world. Just for those people that are still listening.
Yes.
What do you think they left already? So
They
they
were-
I feel like this guy messed up the intro. Screw this.
so how our office is, there's it's like a U-shaped hallway, and some of the offices have windows to the hallway. And we were just talking about how both of the offices that I had in the office didn't have windows. For this reason, is because you love newer agents, you want to help, but it's relentless. Like, Alex,
Some people don't even knock; they just waltz right in. I'm like,
Sure.
who
Yep.
are you?
Oh. Well, you do have your face plastered all over the office, so I feel like maybe you give off exceptionally friendly and willing to help vibes.
I am going to put a giant sign on the door that says, "I'm not friendly. Go to Chris Cusmano if you want friendly."
not today because our AC is broken. It's hot and humid.
Oh
Oof.
no.
It's all good.
So take off all your clothes.
So we're gonna. So people. Okay. So what people are going to talk about?
Yeah. May not be able to upload this to YouTube.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, for all those that do not know, those are lyrics. Those are straight lyrics.
Yeah, to a Nelly song from 2003. I know we might have Gen Z listeners that have never heard that song.
That's why I had to put a full disclaimer on there. You weren't just simply requesting; you were singing.
They would be 21 years old when this song came out. So that was in 2003. Wow.
Do you know
Dang.
Biggie Smalls and hip hop music we grew up to is on the oldies station now?
No.
So is Eminem, like the Eminem show.
Really?
The whole album.
That came out 20 years ago, so
This
But
is
just,
absurd.
like,
Can we
it is
not
what's
age
cool.
ourselves?
yeah, it's pretty bad. Hey, so we have a guest today. Maybe he's not here yet. And his name is Derek Chevalier or Chevalier. I think it's Chevalier.
I
He's
think
a
it's Chevalier.
Chevalier. Master negotiator. But before he's here, I want to ask you something. What's your opinion on him before meeting him, based on his photo and his bio?
Oh, his bio seems so hardcore. I love it.
Yeah, it definitely seems like he knows. He's one of those people that seems very structured and regimented. Although,
Mhm. Structured, regimented, and knows exactly how to approach a situation. Even his picture, like real quick, it's staring at me right now, and I'm a little intimidated. I'm like, don't look directly.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to him about it.
Yeah.
His picture is very intimidating.
Mhm.
And I don't know if that's on purpose or not, but I'm very
I-
interested in that.
I think so. When I took headshots, I had, I had people tell me like, "Ooh, that direct photo, it looks way too direct. You need to smile more." And I thought that was interesting because I am a friendly person, and I'm actually on the friendliest team ever, which is our slogan. But what if I wanted to have a stone cold like, "Bitch, here I am" photo? I feel like
Which
it's
don't kill
different.
my vibe.
Yeah, I feel like it's taken completely different than a male.
well, I think that's the point because he does have a military background. He is
Mhm.
someone that knows how to negotiate. To me, it's a branding choice. You know what
I
I
would
mean?
agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody like I'm pretty sure if you look at photos like high-ranking commanders and generals, they're not smiling.
Mhm.
They have to be respected. and that's probably what he's trying to
Invoke.
convey is yes, exactly, is to show that he is somebody to be respected, and he is the negotiation expert and has a whole organization surrounded by that.
That's fascinating because as real estate agents, we have this delicate balance of being friendly yet respected. And you see some real estate agents in their photos that they choose are very similar to Derek, very frank to the point, serious, and some are smiling ear to ear. And I wonder if there is a study out there. Oh, we should look that up on ChatGPT. Is there a study that if you compare serious photos versus smiling photos in regards to who people who don't know, people in the study selected just on their photo as who would be their real estate agent?
I think it comes down to the type of personality that you are personally. So if you are a high I versus a high D, a C, whatever it is, your personality type, what you work best with. So, a high I may not be super excited and keen to work with somebody so structured.
Yeah.
It just depends on. I think it's a piece, not every single time, because even a high I may want somebody straight to the point who's going to get the job done, and they respect that. It may just be a matter of point and perspective.
High I personalities do really well with C personalities, because they need that structure, and they also need a fighter for them. Because high I's don't typically fight for themselves often, and C's are fighters. That's what they're built to do, is to fight. So if you befriend a C and you're an I, you're probably in a good situation. I married a high DC.
I have a DC.
You?
Dan.
Oh, Dan's. Yeah, I can say not you. You're ID.
I'm ID all day.
Yeah, I think Alex is too. Alex, what are you?
Oh yeah. I haven't taken it. I feel like I haven't taken it in a while, is what I should say. Mine has changed over the years, I've noticed. I was definitely earlier in my career, I was definitely more high I. Now I feel like I'm more high D. Especially after I got married, my daughter came, and I had to really focus more, and it was less about making friends and supporting my family, and really
that makes sense.
Focus on the big picture.
Your priorities change, so does I guess your behavior patterns that follow. That is true. I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. So for everyone who is listening who don't know what the hell we're talking about,
we're talking about the fucking alphabet over here. A, B, C, D.
I'm a major DIC. What can I say?
Where's your sound effects, Chris? When you have
what?
me around, it's all good.
Yeah, you know what? I want to get my air conditioner working first today, and then we'll work. I'm literally like listening.
Chris is like,
use your sound. Use your sign writer and just like fan yourself.
Oh yeah, I got a few right here. All right. So with that said, a
Wait,
DI.
Wait, fan it one more time. I'm beautiful inside.
I know. Yeah, it's stinky AF right about now, probably. All right, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the disc real quick, and then we can get into it because we're killing time until our boy Derek shows up. Maybe I should check my email to see if he's lost in the sauce. But a high D personality is what? What do you guys think it is, Alex and Jen?
Somebody that's a little bit more direct is usually your business owners or CEOs, people that just want bullet points, just get to the point, this and that. How's it benefit me? What's the purpose? And how much does it cost? Simple as that.
Yeah, you don't need details, and when you make your decision, you already made it. You don't need fluff. You don't need to be sold. You just want to move on to the next thing.
Very decisive.
Yep.
Straight to the point.
People can see them as assholes, dicks, but they don't want to be your friend almost. So a lot of these different personality traits, they can clash if they don't change their if you're not aware, change their style.
So I was going to say sometimes my D clashes with my I, where I'm going at 100 miles, and then I'll go back. I'm like, hey, I hope I didn't sound like an asshole. I was going at 100, and yes, all good. But I will be at 100 miles, bullet point, answering, moving on, and then my eyes like, oh no, did I hurt somebody's feelings?
Yeah, it's weird. Like high D personality is like a conveyor belt. You're just moving along the process as quickly as possible, right? You don't want to dwell on it. And a high I personality is like you care about other people's feelings and are they hurt? but they do clash because you're. Whoa, what was that? You got,
That
is
was
that
my
your
guard.
dog?
That was my guard.
It was
dog.
Barry behind me. Oh.
That guy behind your head. Yeah, the high D, so the high D personalities just want things done, and they can come off, and people can assume that they're not caring and they're
Mhm.
brash. And before I was aware of that, I would never like self-reflect. I would always be like, well, what's the? They know I'm not mad at them. They know I'm not pissed, right? Because I'm high D, and then but then your high I always wants to make up for it. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I was brash. Hope I didn't hurt your feelings, right? And then you feel guilty, right? Because you have the awareness that other people might have been offended of how abrupt you were.
And I
My
feel
high I wife. Sorry.
no, I was gonna say with the
Jen.
D side too. I've learned to compartmentalize, like life in terms of okay, just because this is going on with work does not mean it consumes all the rest of me. It's boom, boom, boom. Everything has a slot. Everything has a almost like a little drawer in my file cabinet, and we just
Okay.
move right along.
I wish I was like that. I'm constantly all D a lot of times, and it's hard for me to get myself out and bring my I back out to the point where my wife, who's a high I, she hates when I get sales cold calls because I'll just be like, no, bye. And she's like, you're so mean. I'm like, I don't want it. I know I don't want it. And I don't have time. You can get on to the next person.
Mhm.
She's like, you don't have to be mean about it. I'm like, okay. She hates it every single time.
It's funny. Like when I get cold calls, I'm very high D too, but also high I. But like, I feel kind of bad for them. Actually, I just got one. Mortgage. It was a lady from the Philippines calling for a mortgage broker. They want to have coffee, right? And I feel bad for them. I like pep them up a little bit. I'm like, you know what? I know where this is going. I don't want to waste your time. You're doing great. Keep making the calls. You're gonna get people. Oh, thank you so much. Blah, blah, blah,
Chris,
blah.
you're so funny. I love it. I totally did not see that coming.
Oh, all the time.
Oh, I
Put 'em
see
up.
it.
Well, like I can see you trying to like almost probe at them, like what are we doing? Like almost trying to turn them into a client,
do
so
that.
to speak.
I do
But
that. Yeah.
no, I know, but you just hold your head up, guy.
Well,
You got
no, it's when it's the Filipinos because they are up in the middle of the night right now. Like it's 3
Yeah.
o'clock here. It's 3 a.m. They have
Mhm.
family. They have kids. It's probably raining there. It's always raining there. And then they're making cold calls for a bunch of Americans across the country doing their shit work that they don't want to do.
Yeah.
And I feel bad because other people are just like I feel like I have to fix the image of America to them. Like I feel like all these Americans are doing what Alex doing. F off, click. Go to hell, click. And then I'm like,
I don't
it's okay,
I don't curse them
everything-
out. First of all, I just say, look, I'm not interested, but thank you. That's it. I'm not
It's
like
that bad.
you ruined my life. Go F yourself. It's like,
Yeah.
thank you, I'm not interested. Have a good day. Bye.
Yeah.
I don't give them a chance to rebut. How about that?
But I do become a prick when they are adamant. If I say, "Hey, I appreciate it. I'm not interested." Listen, we understand that you have a relationship with someone. No. Listen, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just trying to end the call politely. I'm just not. We're good. We're good. You can move on to the next call. But he really has all these interesting programs. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Now I got to be mean, right? Now I'm like, I said no, and now I'm gonna hang up, and I didn't want to hang up on you. You know what I mean?
But you gotta give them credit. They're persistent. They're trying to get those objections
I
rebuted.
hear you.
Consistency is key. It's almost like when like I just went to the DR a few months ago, and we were. Have you ever been anybody to the DR?
Not to like off resorts.
Well, no, just like the airport where I was in a reference to.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
So
it's very
at the-
bungo-y.
bungo, yes, yeah. You get off the airplane and there's tiki huts everywhere, but
Such a vibe.
the level of intensity that meets you once you get to that first hut, where people are just grabbing at, oh, let me help you, they're hustling. And
Oh, yeah.
I'm very polite, and I'm speaking in Spanish. I'm like, no, gracias, no, está bien, go, da, da, da. No. Now I got to start in English, where they're like, no me entiende. Okay, now I'm going in English. I'm going both languages, and then I start getting very fast. I'm like, give me my fucking luggage. So, so like, I get it. Like, very polite, super cool, but there's that level of consistency that just crosses the threshold of annoyance. So the
Yeah,
hustle,
I'm sure.
I respect the hustle, but it goes to.
Oh yeah.
On another topic, I got a text from a client. He asked me, I want to see what your answer is on this. Hey, have you ever heard of a mother-daughter house?
Like a
Is that-
mother-in-law suite? Like
A duplex?
So the answer is no for both of you. I'm assuming.
not in that same verbiage. I mean, is English their first language? Maybe
Yeah.
they mean something along the lines of like a guest house or a mother-in-law suite.
Okay.
Or
so
maybe
I wrote,
maybe something with two primary suites. You know.
I wrote, no, but this sounds interesting. Tell me more. And he wrote, so I think I need to find a house that my mom comes with us. So an in-law suite. So I need like 2 master bedrooms, or maybe like a courtyard house.
I
What's
may
their
have a
budget?
listing
I got
for that.
you.
No, I
No,
got 'em.
stop.
No,
I'm asking
go
right now,
on.
what's your budget?
Oh.
We may have 2 ready for you. Why? Why? What
Guys,
do
this
you
is
got,
live.
Alex?
All right. You know what, Jen? Sell it first, and then I'll sell mine.
No,
How
no,
about
no.
that?
Age before
All
beauty.
right. So
Don't say it. Don't say it.
which one am I? Which one are you?
I'm beauty, of course.
I know. Okay. So, well, you're older than me. That's why.
That's why I said
Right?
don't say it. Oh, you just had
Okay.
to say that I was older.
Well, by like a month, right?
That's possible.
Anyway, so it's in Boca Raton in New Floresta. It is
Okay.
the main house is a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2,600 square feet, and there's an in-law suite that is 900 square feet, 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath. We are currently asking $1,350,000.
How's the traffic on that?
We've had a good amount of showings. 2 very low ball offers from investors.
Oh.
All right, hold on. So I'm gonna answer his question. He goes, I said, "What's your budget?" He says, "Around 7." Am I close?
Ugh.
I'm gonna say, for one of them, no.
Neither one.
I'm researching. Hold on. Come on, we gotta build suspense. I'm researching.
Ask him to find $800,000 more.
Are you able to find $800,000
I think he'll like that.
Under
I think he'll like
a
that
mattress?
response.
or something?
Possibly. And then make it seasoned for like 2 months.
I really did.
It's
say
really
that.
nice.
I said,
Good.
"Are you able to find $800,000 more under a mattress or something?" Okay, Jen, tell us about yours.
Well, I'm still working on it, so I won't give too many deets. But it is in Loxahatchee. Beautiful lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that one. I'm still
Oh,
working on.
that'd be nice.
Yeah, Loxahatchee, huge lot. It's unique because it's not a separate mother-in-law suite. It's like an ensuite. So the main house is 4 bedrooms, and technically connected is 2 additional rooms. That is a complete separate
Nice.
ensuite. Which a full kitchen, full laundry. There's AC in both the main and the secondary.
Well, that's fun. How much is that?
Well, my friends, we're still narrowing down a price point, but we're thinking of possibly listing at a mil.
A what?
A mil.
Oh, 1 mil.
$1 delicious million.
Remember when Loxahatchee was like $150?
Listen,
Yep.
though.
Yep, and like a
Listen.
pack of gum.
Yeah. I represented a builder and got him like 2 acres for 23 grand, like in 2016, 2017.
Oh, it's nasty.
Yeah, but you know what? People say that now, like, "Oh, prices are so high." But you know what? People said that then. You know?
I keep saying to people, like, "Oh, I'm gonna wait for prices to go down." I'm like, look, there's people still waiting for prices to go down to the 1980s. They've been waiting since then.
Waiting and don't even have a leg to stand on right now. Like they're still
Mhm.
waiting.
I
Yep.
have
And
a,
I also feel the same way. Those are the same people that say real estate agents are going away. All you need is an attorney. I see in all of our social media comments.
yeah, well then fine, use that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. All right, enjoy that process. And eventually you're gonna milk your own cows and change your own oil and cut your own hair, right? You can do all that too. Right? You can.
Each to their own. Good luck, though.
As Chris Rock famously says, "You can drive a car with your feet. Doesn't make it a good idea."
Uh-huh.
Side note, on my way back home from my little getaway this weekend, I saw a Tesla, and I love me my Teslas. But this guy had the full steering happening, and this is where he gets a little stupid, and by little I mean ridiculously stupid. He has his feet hanging out and is just waving at everybody as the car is self-driving. I'm like, you fucking idiot. This is what gives Tesla people bad names. Because that's
Oh
called
my
like
God.
reckless ass
No,
endangerment.
what gives
Like,
Tesla people bad names is supporting Elon Musk.
well, listen, I like my Tesla. It doesn't mean I support the guy. I like my car and not having to put gas in it where I'm driving forever and ever. Literally yesterday, Loxahatchee, then Boynton, then Boca. I mean, like I was all over the place yesterday.
It's also a nice payment too. $550 for a lease.
What are the resales on EVs? Do they hold up like regular cars?
Regular
think-
cars don't hold up.
Well, you know what I mean. Like it doesn't just. You can still make some money back on it, or at least not lose so much. I wonder if EVs are the same, or
I don't know if there's enough data to be able to really look at that. I mean, I'm sure they last like what, 6 years, 10 years? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know enough. When the moment I was able to switch from gas to electric, I was the happiest girl in the world.
Yeah, my wife is really happy with her Model Y.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the only difference is if I were to have to go back to a gas car, I would want my Tahoe back, which is like two extremes, right?
Yeah.
what?
Like two extremes. The Tahoe, the space in the Tahoe is delicious, and I loved it, but I hated filling up that gas tank.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got a Suburban. I got you on that one.
No, I know you do.
Yeah.
Oh.
We got an electric vehicle too.
Do you?
What do you have?
Shut up. I know where you're going.
What is it, a Roomba?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, actually, we have two of those. We have what's called a EV golf cart. It's pretty cool.
Oh, that's right.
It's the coolest thing
Courtesy
ever.
of me not being as good as you.
You know what? The house hasn't sold yet, so maybe you're better.
Oh, trust me, I know.
Oh, really? You're one of those?
Listen, Alex is
No,
having
no,
alerts.
No, I on yours I don't. I was just curious to see if it went on the market yet, like a day or two ago.
Oh, it did. We just dropped the price yesterday too.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, but no.
How does
that
she
was-
take that?
No, it was the strategy. So,
Okay.
I don't want to give too many details, but very vaguely, I said that I recommended a price point to start because they had a certain dollar they wanted. And based on that conversation, I said, listen, if we don't get an offer in a week to 10 days, we have to have a conversation what I feel you should list at. And she agreed. And we got to that time point yesterday. Nice chat. Yep. So what we do here, actually, this is a valuable thing when it comes to real estate. We do what's called repackaging of listings. So we don't just drop the price. What we'll do is we'll put a new first photo on or change maybe the background of a sky. We'll change the description. And then we'll change the floor plan. So if it was a black and white, we'll do color or 3D. We'll just switch it up a little bit. And and we had a listing we're doing it for tomorrow, another one where we have the Instagram link as the video tour, and now we're going to swap it for YouTube, hoping maybe that can help with SEO purposes.
I like to call that the Netflix effect.
When they change the thumbnails.
Yeah, well, Netflix is always changing their quote unquote thumbnails where they're like, "Oh, I've never seen that movie." Click. Damn it, I did see that.
There's some YouTube channels. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Good Mythical Morning on YouTube.
No,
With
but
Rhett
I'm
and Link.
digging
Anyway,
digging the name.
it's a fun little like variety show that they do every day, Monday through Friday. But I noticed that in the mornings they have one thumbnail, and then in the afternoon they swap the thumbnail on every one of their videos.
Interesting.
It is very interesting. I think it's for like West Coast or East Coast, switching it out.
Or maybe
Well,
you
just
saw it.
algorithm.
Yeah, it could also be that you saw it in the morning and they know
Yeah.
that you saw it and then you meant to see it and then you're going to see it later, but then you might think it's already old. And you have to
Right. Or like one you haven't seen. So I'm sure there's an analytic for like clicks on it. I don't know if you know any of the YouTube analytics that they look at, but people that, if you're getting twice as many people clicking on it, does that help the algorithm?
Or at least
'Cause
keeps
it's the
that
same people
picture
twice.
yeah, keeps that picture longer than swaps out.
Well,
I
it's
did
not,
this-
it's not only clicks, it's retention. So
Right.
like how long people watch throughout the process of the video, right?
True
Yeah.
that. I do the same thing for my Airbnb. Every day I go in and change the picture, change the listing description. It's exhausting, but it gets the job done.
It does.
It does.
It's like if you go on a date and your wife puts on a different dress the first time.
Ooh,
Mhm.
You're new.
listen, why does Jen always change her hair? Got to keep my husband on his toes.
Oh yeah, you don't end up thinking it's the same old song and dance.
Got to keep this guy on his toes, man. We've been together for like ever years. I don't even know how many, but it's been a long
Forever
time.
years.
Every years.
No, like forever years. I don't even know. We've been together since 2006. Like we
That was many years.
right? I that's wow.
Who were you in high school?
Might as well have been. We bought a
That's what I
house when
was.
we were like babies.
Oh,
We
I
bought a
know.
house in 2008.
I do have to give you props because I do a lot of the clips for our listing videos, and you're in a lot of them, and you always rocking some cool different outfit on each time. And I'm like, and it's not. And sometimes it's like a dress thing, sometimes it's a suit pant thing, and I'm like,
Mhm.
and then your hair is different. I'm like, this girl puts a lot of effort and image. You know,
I have a lot of different looks, but the hair thing that actually minus the hair color, it's just I got lucky. I got lucky with curls that are cool with straight too.
Women
Yeah,
are
I
so
got-
lucky that every store that they have, just it's like the entire store is women's, and then like the back corner down the hall through a little tunnel is the men's section with like 5 things.
And then if you're short, like my husband is not a tall guy, so like we're in the petite section. It's rough for us shorter people.
He's in
Things
the
don't
boys
fit
section.
right. Well, things don't fit right. I gotta hem things for me, for him. We're just tall.
hemming. Oh my god, I can't even imagine even finding time to hemming.
Ugh, I used to
Oh.
hem them myself. Now I just like if my grandma's available or I just go down the street. I'm like, hey, can you take care of this for me?
Well, I'm
And-
gonna say your last listing video that you did, I think was your best one. The listing that's not out yet with the townhouse.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of, and here's why. You had this like this confidence in this one for some reason. I don't know what it was. Like you're just like, yeah, this is it. Like I don't know how to explain it. It's like I don't know how to explain it. Like when I watched it compared to the other ones you seem very
Forced.
scripted and unnatural. And this one
Mhm.
you were just like just very confident in what you're saying.
I
Eye
think-
contact with the camera a lot.
I think too, I've been writing the last lot of my scripts, right? So I want to say I've been writing all of my scripts for the last few months. So maybe just the fact that I was writing it, getting in the flow of it, and then we've been kind of knocking out almost one a week.
We're doing a lot.
Nice.
Yes. So like by the end, I think that was like the last one I was fried, and it was kind of like, well, here it is.
Yeah. No, whatever it is, do it again. I felt that was more appealing to least to me. I felt like
Mhm.
you were really genuinely confident and know what you're saying. It wasn't so robotic, and
Yeah.
I appreciated that in that one. I think you did great on it.
Thank you.
um,
Thank you.
Excited to see that one.
Yes.
Well, you know what too? I actually saw that house before I wrote the script, and I looked at the photos again before writing the script. So that was helpful. Like I felt like I really knew the house, whereas sometimes I don't always know the property, and it feels kind of like, okay, what is this again? What kind of
3
of thing is
bedroom,
this?
2 bath. It has a kitchen.
Yeah, exactly.
If you want a kitchen in your house, here's the house for you.
You can put your fork here.
It's so generic, right? Where
I mean,
we're
that's what
just-
people think we do anyway. Well, this is the kitchen.
We're like the real estate Vannas, apparently. Point. You know how much money that woman gets? My God,
Oh my god. Yeah.
for
Good for
just
her.
That's actually a
making
good.
making the art of flipping a letter.
That's a good idea for a listing video when you're just flipping a letter and another picture of the house comes up.
Ding.
You should
Mm,
do that as a reel.
yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, tomorrow I need you to record me doing something. I already have the reel edited out and it's hilarious.
What's tomorrow?
We have a listing video tomorrow.
Oh,
don't we?
yes, we do.
Not on your calendar. Uh
No,
It
it
is.
is.
It is in
For
the calendar.
for a
Oh, okay.
for like a small like real quick. I thought that tomorrow was Friday, like as if we're going in the office. I'm like, wait, what's tomorrow? When
Sorry.
whenever there's a day that we don't have like quote unquote work, which is non-existent in our space, it throws me off completely. Like I feel like I'm either a day ahead or a day behind.
It's awkwardly silent
Nice.
right now.
I was like,
Yeah.
well, I thought you were frozen. I was kind of waiting.
What
to see
happened?
if you
So what happened to our guest? Is my question.
You know,
We're-
We're doing a lot. We're doing really good freestyle, but
so for behind the scenes stuff, we usually have like things that we want to address and talk about. and today was our guest. And
Which we
Let
have
me-
things we want to ask him about.
Oh.
And
he
I
said 12:30 Pacific. He misread my thing.
oh,
Hold on.
Okay.
No, it's 2:30. 2:30. It says it right here. I'm looking at it. We
2:30
go
Pacific, so that's 5 o'clock.
We go live at 2:30 p.m. Eastern, and he
Oh,
wrote
he
12:30
PST.
Pacific.
All right, so let's do it for next week.
yeah.
Well, we can't. Hold on. It's 2:30
Oh, you're out, right?
Eastern. Yeah, hold on. It's 2:30 Eastern. It's all good. Let's reschedule. Okay, cool. Whatever. It happens. It was just miscommunication. So
It happens. Adapt, react, apt, as Michael Scott would say.
all right.
Ma-
So
Love that guy.
let's see.
That's where I got all my sales skills
All
from.
your sales pitch from
Yeah.
years of watching Michael Scott.
Oh yeah.
Really, the real guy is Dwight.
No, we
That's
have another guest next week.
Oh, we do. Who's that?
We did. Oh, I didn't tell you. Maybe that's.
How about
maybe that's
no?
How
Let's
about
wait.
we
Let's
know
wait till
now?
9 o'clock the night before.
Your
You know what?
ID
Wait.
Your ID. How much time do you need? You're not analyticals.
I will forget
need-
about till 9 o'clock the next week.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. Like, me
But
too.
it's so nice to know.
No, but you know what I like to do is I like to prep. I will probably forget. I like to have it prepped and already there on my desk. And
Well, I'll
then
tell you right now.
I'll refer.
She found me on TikTok, and I did a TikTok about renting. Actually, no, it was a clip from our podcast where we were talking about rentals that I used as a clip for TikTok. Anyway, she
Ooh.
saw it and she commented, and she's talking about how she makes all her, she built her business on rentals. And then she messaged me. She's like, "Hey, I would love to jump on your podcast and talk about how I make money with rentals." So, like, I would love to talk about that.
That's amazing.
Sweet.
See, you just gotta put stuff out there, and the world comes together.
I always forget about TikTok. Is that bad? I have.
So
to
what
do
I
it.
do-
Oh, go ahead.
Here's my tip for that is every time that I focus more on Instagram. I feel like I should focus more on TikTok because it's easier to get to a broader audience on TikTok
Mhm.
versus like Instagram Reels. But anyway, for the point of this discussion, there's a software called repurpose.io.
Ah.
And if you can make it go whichever way. I think you can make it go from TikTok to Instagram to TikTok and whatever. So when I post on Instagram, it'll repurpose it and publish it to TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and I save it to a Google Drive automatically.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
But it doesn't post it through natively, right? Does it? Or
I think you have to give permissions to those different things.
is it on your phone? This app you said?
No, it's not an app. You literally just post on Instagram, and on the back end, the software
Oh.
pulls it and pushes it to wherever you want it to go.
I love it because conceptually speaking, I have so much content on this computer.
Yeah, me too.
It's
Me both.
ridiculous. It's ridiculous. My desktop looks disgusting, so I want to push it out, and it's just
Oh, I might
getting
have lost you
in,
too.
getting in a
I hear
rhythm
you.
as to the where and the what. What happened?
No, I lost you guys for a second, but then you came back.
Mm-mm-mm.
Might be. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna look into that. I always struggled with. So there used to be Hootsuite, or maybe there still is Hootsuite. Where
There
you
is,
would-
yeah, I think so.
and it was the same thing. And then I struggle with that for some reason. I don't remember why. I remember I was doing it on there for a while, and it just felt off.
Mhm.
But it could have been just me. So I did now. I think it only takes a couple seconds. Like, you're
Yeah,
gonna
the
make
only
content,
thing-
you know? But-
The only thing with that is, so YouTube Shorts, you can't do more than 60 seconds.
Yeah.
So if you have a like an Instagram reel that's longer than 60 seconds, it'll post it as a regular video. So you just have to watch out for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So so now you'll have like a vertical YouTube video.
I
Yeah,
see.
we're keeping our clips at 90 seconds max, and because for our team, Josh handles the YouTube channel, so I don't post anything on that. I don't want to get yelled at. So
You don't want to mess up our analytics. We're doing good.
yeah, I don't want to mess with whatever he's doing. So I'm just doing 90-second stuff because I'll hit TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, and I literally just
Yeah.
copy the description, and then I just
Mhm.
post it. I don't know.
I know. It's very easy to do. It's just a matter of doing it and not getting sidetracked and then missing
Yeah.
the other two platforms. Like that is my literal MO.
Yep. Yep. No, I hear you on that one.
This is why I don't cook.
I'm sending you my affiliate link.
Oh, must be nice.
So you're gonna make your 50 cents off us?
25%.
Hell yeah. Oh, you're serious about that link?
No, 100%.
Oh, he's doing it.
No,
You
yeah.
got
what
it.
do you mean?
I'll put it in the YouTube description. All right, and
There we go.
the
You should.
podcast description. I will forget this, so you have to remind me, but I'll try. All right. Well, since this is the podcast that's kind of going along with the training that we're doing, and now that we have some time opened up, I want to talk about what we spoke about yesterday. Alex was there.
I was. I know. I was super sniffly, but it's all good. Sorry, let me mute this.
You're good. So we have been talking about. What's he doing?
He's sneezing his brains off.
No, I am sniffling and spitting out the disgustingness.
The disgustingness. So yesterday's training. So we've been talking about how to elevate the products for our consumers, for our sellers, and up until this point, we essentially solved all their problems, created unique solutions, cut up their niche solutions to just offer what is essential, and then we held a backup plan to use other solutions as bonuses and perks for our clients. Basically, what we did. And I know that might sound heady or wordy. Just go back into the training and find out.
Yeah.
But what a lot of real estate agents do is, and I realize I start a lot of my sentences that way, but what a lot of real estate agents do is they take a listing and they just hope that the phone rings, right? And I'm not just talking about marketing stuff. We're not going to explore that. I'm talking about they just kind of just don't really engage with their clients right now, which is a bad idea in a normal market, which is what we're in now. A normal market means that days on market could be anywhere from 3 weeks to 3 months. And what happens when people got to look from the consumer's perspective, if you hire a real estate agent, you put your house on the market and you don't hear from your agent, what are they thinking? They're wondering what the hell is happening with my house, right?
Yep.
And what's happening a lot is it's been happening for about a year now already, since days on market has taken longer than recent years. People are calling other real estate agents, even though they're listed with someone else, and they're saying my realtor is not doing anything. As a
I have
matter
an
of fact,
appointment tomorrow for that.
yeah, it's very common. Jen
Yeah.
went on an appointment yesterday for one. The listing that I amazingly took over, Alex, was one of those. So there's a.
And I was not the other agent, first of all.
Yeah.
For new listeners,
Yes, you were.
Chris and I were.
No, you guys were.
I wasn't the
competing.
We were competing for the same listing.
Oh, you weren't the previous. Yeah, correct.
I was not the
Yeah.
previous agent.
Let me clear that up. There was a lady
Yes,
who
for
was
new
listed with someone
listeners.
else, and she researched agents, and Alex and I went on an appointment, and of course I won. Anyways, so that one. So the point is that with all of that, is that that's a very normal thing that was happening years ago, and now it's coming back. It didn't happen during the pandemic years because homes sold with a post-it note on the door. So what I've been really teaching in the training and discussing with the agents on the Host by Kuzi team about is how to minimize the chances of your seller cheating on you. And if they do, and they do leave you, they realize their mistake real quick, right? So part of that is to always give them a lot of dopamine hits or a lot of wins throughout the process. So we gave a very, very in-depth list. At this point, do this. At this point, do this. And at this point, do this. And at this point, do this. And that doesn't end even at when you get a contract, and that doesn't even end at the closing. That is spoiling your clients forever because you're trying to do two things. Three things. One, you're trying to make sure that they don't leave you for someone else. Two, you're trying to turn them into a happy, exciting, repeat customer that knows they can't get what you have anywhere else. And three, you're trying to turn them into a cheerleader for your business, which scales indefinitely, and of course, even more so the longer you go and more people cheering for you.
Yeah, you want them. Sorry, Chris. You want them to be your lifelong cheerleader, your walking billboard, so that they will tell everyone about you. And not just that too. Like let's say, and if it's a condo, everybody on their floor, everybody in your building, everybody on your street, they see how fast you sold their house and how happy, not stressed that seller looked during the time of the sale.
Yeah.
Just something as simple as that, where one person, one neighbor or friend may see that seller constantly stressed out about their house, and when asked about the process, everything's in a negative light. Instead, the opposite approach would, when you're constantly, like you said, giving that seller quote unquote dopamine wins along the way, they now feel that the transaction, although it's not moving in the direction, or not direction, not moving in the timeline
speed.
that they are quote unquote used to a few years ago with your post-it comment. They're still there. They're holding on tight, and they're feeling positive, because it's all about that feeling that they have, not just at the beginning when they're excited to list, but throughout the entire process, so that you finish strong and you have a positive, long-lasting impression.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think people feel slighted if you're not communicating with them, if you're not showing that you care. And I'm gonna give a couple tips on this real quick. So, I actually had a conversation with our admin on this. You have to communicate them in the way that they want to be communicated with. So we offer feedback twice a week, and some people love watching video feedback. Some hate it. Some want an email, some want a text, and some want a phone call. Surprisingly, less and less people want a phone call. Well, not surprisingly, but
Is it really surprising though?
no. But the older crowd still wants the phone call. I hate the phone call because then it's he said, she said, right?
Yeah.
But you're right. And so if there is a phone call involved, always memorialize that in an email or a text. By the way, fun fact and good tip, pro tip.
That way you can reference it later when you say, "What have you been doing?" Blah blah blah.
Mhm.
Like say this, all this, these
All
emails that
this.
I've been sending you.
Yeah, all these emails and all these texts and everything, and that's extremely powerful. So another tip that I do is, so we were talking about high C personalities. High C personalities are natural fighters, and they're also oftentimes victims of nothing. And I'm not saying that disparagingly, but they are the type that feel like they have to always fight and defend themselves, and people are out to get them, right? A lot.
Mhm.
Not often, but a lot. So you have to be aware that you're going to come across the type of mindset that regardless of what you do, they either may be inclined to think that you're lying to them or you're not doing enough. So what I have a client like that, and what I do is I run my emails through ChatGPT and Google Gemini, and I said, hey, word this in the most positive, energetic way that would make a high C or a super analytical person happy. And they rewrite the emails, right?
That's not a bad approach at all, my
Amazing.
friend.
No, I've been doing it, since ChatGPT. Well, not since it came out, since I thought of it, maybe about 6 months ago. you know,
Nice.
So that's a cool tip that you guys definitely, because we understand, like, I don't naturally think in high C personalities. I think of, okay, what's happening? Is there anything we can do to fix it? And now let's hug it out, right?
Hmm.
Right.
But high C's are very like, you're not doing enough. My neighbor's friend is a realtor, and they're saying you're doing this wrong, and you should be doing this. That's how they approach it, right?
And have you
just
had
have
those
to-
conversations where they felt where, because I know you have your guarantee, the NOM one. When was the last time you've had to kind of utilize that?
What?
Now
someone
that
else
you
is
have all
right?
the no, well, I mean, when was the last time a client has said, Chris, somebody else is doing this, why aren't you doing that? You
hasn't
say you're
happened
the
yet.
marketing, right? So
That hasn't happened. But
that's good.
I've had clients say things like, um, my friend's a realtor in such and such land, South Dakota, and they're telling me that this photo is not good, or that you shouldn't have this here. And I'm like, okay, fine. And I don't argue with them. I just say, hey, listen, we're performing above average on all the metrics. And I show it to them.
Mhm.
So I'm not going to say they're incorrect. I'm going to say that everyone wants to be a hero, and you're coming for them for advice. And it's easy for them to knock down something they don't know, as opposed to, and agree with you because you're calling for them to be disgruntled,
Yeah.
as opposed to telling you, like, hey, just shut up and everything's fine.
Just, trust the process, trust the professional. And I think that's where sometimes people, uh, they get overexcited, and they don't trust that they're in good hands. But not every single agent is of the same caliber. Who you hire matters through and
100%.
through.
Yeah.
This doesn't happen with my Drink 300 clients, though. It's
Mhm.
only people who are referred to me who don't know me that are happening
Right.
at high C. That combination, high C and who don't know me, or people who found me on Google, that's the only time these situations ever occur. That's why I always say you better get your J300 database up if you want to have a reduced stress business.
I like how you couldn't even
Yeah.
say eliminate stress.
Well, sometimes you feel like you're disappointing your friends and family when you're not when you know they're upset. Let's be real. Sometimes you know they're upset and you're doing everything you can. And sometimes you feel, as a high I and all of us, we feel, at least for me, I feel like I'm disappointing them. Did I
Right.
skip that?
I had one Dream 300 experience where I did everything in my power. When I mean everything, and it was a buyer, I mean it came down to the employment verification, and I was helping them find a LinkedIn message to the CEO of this former company that closed 5 years ago or 2 years ago, whatever it was, the timeline. And we just needed that to bridge the gap in their employment, the 2-year consistency employment. I did everything. I couldn't sleep. I was my slave, and that's when it comes. That I feel like that was the difference between a Dream 300 versus not. It was so personal that there is nothing else I could possibly do, and it was up to at least the underwriting team to do their thing. And
How did it pan out?
Fine, they're happily in their house, but it took me a real minute.
We have a guest.
Hi,
Hey,
Derek.
Hello, how are you?
Hey, man.
We're
We were
great.
just kind of chit chatting because that's what we do. We're killing time.
Because what?
We were killing time.
Well, good. I'm not late, am I?
Well,
I think.
Well, I've got it's 120 there, right? Is that right?
no, it's 3:20 here, but it's okay.
Oh my God! No, I had it. It came up on my calendar as 12:30 my time. Well, my God, I'm so sorry because
Derek,
I was here.
I have an idea. Because we only have 9 minutes left on this. Why don't you just hang out and BS with us, and then we're gonna reschedule you in 2 or 3 weeks from now. Is that cool?
Okay, whatever. Yes, I really I was ready to go.
Yeah, you look like
It
you
may
are
be
now.
because I was in the East Coast and then I'm back here and it didn't update, but it should have updated anyway in the calendar. Hello, everyone.
This is
Not a
Derek.
Hello
problem.
there.
Hi, Derek. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Nice
Wow,
to meet you too.
Your demeanor is so much different than your headshot.
I was just gonna ask. That.
Chris said that. I may need a new head. I kind of look mean, I think, or very serious at the very least, anyway. So
Well,
Yes, you are
we-
such a pleasure, Derek.
Yeah. Well, we were considering. Was this a branding? Was this a branding technique, possibly with the books?
Well, I think I'm pretty serious, but hopefully not all the time. I mean, I do stand up comedy to try to be less serious, but
Never would've thought that.
in my work, I guess I am pretty serious, but not really.
Okay.
Is your best joke just a picture of you behind you and you go, "Isn't this funny?" And you just stare at the crowd.
What's that?
Sorry, I got distracted. You just put a picture of yourself behind you as you're doing your comedy. And your best joke is, "Isn't this funny?" And you just stare at the crowd away from the laugh.
That's
Yeah,
a bad joke,
I'm gonna because I was on a podcast not long ago, and somebody goes, "Wow, man, you're so different." And Chris, you said that I think when we were talking, so I've got to think about that, right? I mean, anyway, Jen and Alex, tell me about you.
Jen. Ladies
Beauty,
first.
huh? Beauty.
Yes.
Yes. Well, hi, Derek. Again, nice to meet you. I'm Jen Konikoff, and I work with Chris on the Homes by Kuzi team. Then, of
And
course,
I'm
you have
Alex
that guy.
Mandel.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hi.
I love it. And look at me, late to the party. That is, I'm disappointed, but I'm glad we got to hang out. And I even texted you to say, "Hey, I'll see you in 30 minutes," because I was there going.
Well, Derek, I was on the cast, as we call it, and I didn't see it. I don't have a text. We have an email.
Email.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
So I
thinking
got
follow
your
more or do not
email. So.
disturb. Yeah.
Derek, speaking of text, I want to run this by you because you're a negotiating expert. All right. I got this guy who bought a brand new construction house for
Okay.
$950,000.
Yeah.
Okay. Now he wants to sell the same house for the same price, even though the new houses being built are the same price. So he wants to sell his 3-year-old house, the same price as a brand new construction next door, same model and everything, same price. And he wants to live in this house for free for a year after he moves out. And he doesn't want it on the internet, the MLS, no videos, nothing. He just wants me to get on the phone and find a buyer. I said I'm not interested in representing you, but I might go back and I want to hear. Well, I didn't say it to him. I said it to myself, and I will say it to him. But but what, you're a negotiating expert. How would you get someone who's so far out of reality into reality, or is some people just a lost cause?
Well, it may very well be out of the ordinary, and it may be extraordinary, and maybe not. I mean, there's a lot of things to consider there, right? If it is truly out of the ordinary, it may be that you all would want to look at it as a challenge. What can we do in this state, right? To create a client opportunity, sometimes we have to allow a client, because telling them that something's impossible before we have engaged and given them examples of why that might be impossible, we create the relationship, because ultimately, if it's completely out of bounds, there would be certain people that would say, I'm not even going to represent them because I wouldn't want that on my book. On the other hand, if it's not going on the internet, then it doesn't expose you, right? You're not going to have a property on the internet for a year waiting for it to happen. So that's actually a benefit. So this would be a private listing that you have and a relationship that you're building. And then what you would do is begin to interact and understand what's really going on with
That's
the
it.
client,
Mhm.
right? Because, yeah, I want $10 billion. I want that, right? But I don't think, Jen or Alex are going to give me $10 billion. So if we're dealing with the client's wants, we accept that's what they want. But there are a lot of other things going on. Does everybody want to live free? Sure, they can. Is it possible that you could find not exactly that deal, but a deal? Yes. So I would go back to the beginning. And the beginning is that we look at the attributes that are constant. Number one, what is the time frame that the client has? And connected to that time frame, what are the consequences, if this doesn't happen? So that's what I would engage in a conversation with the client. First of all, okay, great. Let's imagine that we can make this happen. Then we would begin to talk with the client about, okay, why is it important that it happens just this way? And I want to understand that, because if there are motivating factors that really make this something that has to happen for you, it will help me in representing you to understand what those motivating factors are. So engaging in a conversation, that's where we start. And what we're looking for is the why. Okay. And then, second of all right, let's just imagine that I take this project on and that we're not successful in 30 days. What consequences occur if we're not successful in 30 days? And then we would extend it from there. If there are no consequences for your client, that becomes a real big red flag in the sense that if there are no consequences whatsoever, and the client is suggesting that they could wait a year, have nothing happen, and will still be where they are today, that I would take with a grain of salt. And again, I would continue in that conversation to really understand the client. And I'll end by saying this: this is a perfect example of why we want to negotiate people and not transactions.
I love it.
I love that, especially. I mean, I
Focus
think
on
you
the
nailed
people.
the people and their motives. I think that was just very, very important to harp on
Yeah,
because
see what he
everything
actually
drives
wants,
it.
right?
Yeah, the motives drive their actions.
So I'm in
Yeah.
a position in my business where when I got this call, and just to be honest, it was referred to me from a colleague of mine, and I said no.
They must not
'Cause-
like you.
Yeah, because we're very. I think all three of us are very lucky. We finally got to a place in our careers that we don't have to take everything that just comes like we
Right.
used to. So it's these difficult challenges. They have a longer shelf life on our store,
Sure.
and you know what I mean. And then I'm like, and then I have to dust it more, and I got to change the price tag more often. You know what I mean? I just like, but then it takes away that shelf space for other things, or my current clients, their time is being taken away for something so challenging. Is it worth it?
Sure.
You know?
So, sure. So there is the issue of priority, right? This is not going to be your top priority because that's going to be connected to the time frame that your client has. If the client's time frame is unending, number one, that's going to change over time. As circumstances change, as the consequences change and present themselves, because there are issues for that client that are going to determine what they'll do and when they'll do it, right? At this point, we don't know what those are. So here's what some of the questions that I would ask you. Beyond this particular deal, what other potential benefits does the client present to you and to the company?
It's almost like the same concept, Chris, when we talk about those rental leads, right? It could start out as that small piece, but in reality, when you peel a little further, you know that same client can end up buying $10 million worth of real estate down the line
Yeah,
and nurturing.
maybe.
Well,
But
depending on the person, I'm just
yeah,
talking
I was saying,
scenario best case.
yes, that's
Right.
that's where I was going. But also, people with these unique challenges and difficulties everywhere you look, typically it's a pattern or a
Right.
habit within their life where if they do come around in the future, you probably don't want to answer your phone.
Right.
Right.
And it's what type of people are they going to be referring to? Is it going to be somebody
Yes.
that's going to be the same challenge every single
Yep.
time?
People are who they hang out with, aren't they?
Right.
Well, I guess here's another question. Back to this. What benefits other than this deal are there connections that this client has that might be beneficial to you? Are there potential referrals that the client may have or could expose you to that we don't know about yet? Those would be benefits. So
Yeah,
you
those are
really
maybes.
want to look. What's that?
Those are maybes, but yeah.
Yeah. So what circles does that client run in? Because if the client has access to other potential clients, first of all, knocking a ball out of the park, if depending on their social status, depending on what other connections, and those are intangibles that might be benefits to you. But we need to understand what are those intangibles and really get a picture of why this might be something we engage in. There are certainly deals that I become engaged in that at the outset of it looks impossible to get to. And I'll tell you that sometimes I'll take that deal to find out what's possible. also to practice chops, to see whether or not in my relationship with that client, I can get a good read on the client's motivations and behaviors. And then as the smoke clears, I begin to have a better idea as to whether or not that's something I want to pursue or not. But we want to look at that bigger picture because, again, today, you know, Chris, that I have a very strong feeling that the number one thing that professional realtors need to do is to improve and increase their actual skill base in negotiation.
Mhm.
Well, I'll argue that I hope no one else does, and only we do to give us a leg up. But yeah, for sure. So
Selfishly.
yeah, so Derek, we are actually out of time, but you're gonna definitely coming back. I just gotta
Oh,
look at the calendar. Is that cool?
Yeah, well, yeah. I listen. It's wonderful to meet you, both you, Alex, and Jen. And I would love to. And I really apologize. Doesn't happen very often. We had technical issue for 2 weeks, but I'd love to talk with you more about some of the specifics there, and then also talk with your audience about some of the things we can do to create some outcomes. I love scenarios like that. You give me some other ones,
Ooh,
and
I might have some
we'll
for
take a
you.
look at them. Yeah.
Let's do that. We're gonna make a list of them and we're gonna feed them to you. Is that cool?
All right, just shoot me an email. Let's get it on. I'm going to find out what we had in that calendar. That because it's troublesome to me. But
Ow.
thank you so much.
Oh,
No,
thank you, sir.
I look forward to
Thank
talking
you.
to you again.
All right, everyone.
Yeah, I'm excited, sure. Especially knowing I can get new pictures made.
Just keep that smiley face going.
So scary.
No, it looks good. It looks good. It's just when you first look at the photo and you don't meet you, you're like, you can kick my ass. And I'm okay with
Well,
that.
you know, for some clients, being a little bit scary is okay. I'm the guy you kind of call. I do a lot of stealth negotiation, as you know. In that scenario, the people we're actually negotiating with may never even know I was involved in the deal.
Oh, okay.
'Cause
Don't
I-
spill the beans on that. Stop right there because
All
I want
right.
to ask all about that in 2 to 3 weeks.
All
I'm
right.
writing that
Yeah.
down for next week.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right, let's wrap this up, guys. We all have work to do. Derek, it was nice re-meeting you, and we'll see you in a couple weeks, and we'll see the audience in the next podcast next week. All right, guys. See you.
See everybody.
Great.
See everyone.
We see you. In fact, let's do it next week if we can. All right.
We can't, but I'll shoot you an email. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks so much.